Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at this LG 77-inch OLED TV. And the specific model we're taking a look at is the B3. This does come in 3 different sizes. You can get it in 55, 65, or 77-inch sizes. And the price of this is $28.99. However, it is on sale at Best Buy currently for $1,999. And I have seen it a little bit lower than that also. So definitely keep your eye on this one. Now the B3 is the more budget model. This one has the A7 processor. It's going to have 2 HDMI 2.1 ports. This does have 120 hertz refresh rate, so it is going to be pretty good. If you're looking at the C3, that one's going to be a little bit more improved over this model, so that one's going to have a better processor. You'll have 4 HDMI 2.1 ports versus 2, and you'll have a brighter picture. All right, and so things you want to pay attention to is look for the front arrow, so you know which side is going to be the front if you were going to put this up. And then you want to cut all the little holders on here, and then this just slides right up. In the box, we have a bag with our remote, batteries, screws, a user guide, as well as a back panel cover, our stand, and of course the TV itself. If you do use the included stand, you have 4 screws to secure it, and if you are mounting it, you'll want to use the included panel cover to cover this up. And you do have VESA mounts on the back. Our power cable may be replaceable. As you can see, it does have a screw and a little port cover here, so it's possible it could be replaced. And then here is how our plug will look. It is a 2-prong and goes at an angle like so. As for ports, you can see that we do have a LAN port, service port, optical audio out. We have a coax, as well as 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, which are capable of 4K at 120 hertz. We also have additional ports on the side, so you have 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, and then we have 2 USB in ports. Now, one part I didn't film was actually putting the stand on here, but what you should do is definitely put the TV face down on a flat surface with a towel, something soft like a blanket, so you don't damage the screen. And that way you can put that stand on much easier, and then you can lift it up and put it onto the table that you want to put it onto. Now, one thing I do like about the TV is the stand that's included. So most TVs now come with a stand on the left and right, but this one being centered, it lets you use this on something smaller than what it may fit on normally. So the size of this for the smallest point is about 24 inches. For the longest point right here, it's about 27, 28 inches here. And then from the front to back of the TV for the stand, that's about 11 inches. So just make sure you have enough room for that stand and you should be good. All right, and we now have the TV on for the first time. It's saying to press the OK wheel on the remote. Now, the remote does come with batteries. They are AA batteries, and I'll show you those real quick here. So that's how that's going to look. And we do have to pair the remote with the TV. So we're gonna go ahead and press the OK wheel. Okay. All right, we're now gonna go ahead and select the language. So select English, go down to next here. All right, it's got audio guidance already turned on, so we're gonna turn that off. We don't need that right now. Select the country, United States, hit next. All right, now we're gonna choose our time zone. So I'm in Eastern time, hit New York. I'm gonna go down to next. All right, you got 2 ways to set up the TV. So you can set it up by using a mobile device, or you can set up the TV on the TV itself if you want to. You also have a store mode at the bottom left if you wanted to use that. Of course, we're not doing that right now. I'll go ahead and set it up with a mobile device. And as you can see, the magic remote has started to work now. All right, we'll go ahead and hit next. All right, now provides a QR code to set up the TV. Now, once you use this QR code, it is going to have you download the LG ThinQ app. Setup via the app is pretty straightforward. You'll want to create an account with LG, and then you can add products right from the app. So once you add, it'll bring up your camera so that you can scan the QR code that's on the TV screen. It will then provide you a prompt with the model number so you can add this TV. Once you do that, it's going to have a PIN code for you to enter, and then you'll select your Wi-Fi network and enter the password so that you can complete the connection between the TV and the wireless network. From there, you're going to get a bunch of user agreements and legal agreements. Of course, you're welcome to read those if you'd like, but I'm just kind of going through these pretty quickly. And from there, you'll get into the setup of the TV. And the rest of the setup that you have is involving turning the TV on via Wi-Fi, adding a smart speaker, and letting them know if you use cable service or not, and which HDMI port you would like to enable, as well as your service zip code. Okay, and once you set it up through the app, you're prompted to confirm the installation type that you're using so it can set up the sound. So we are using the stand. However, if you use wall mounted, you want to choose that option. So they have AI Picture Pro and AI Sound Pro. So in order to turn those on, just go over and select those. And then as you can see, it shows you what it's going to do with the picture. So of course we'll use that. Same thing with our sound. And you can hear the difference. It does make everything a lot fuller. All right, and then software automatic updates. So you can turn that on or off, and basically it'll update the TV automatically for you. And now it's prompting us to install apps recommended by LG. So we have Amazon's You Know Who, Prime Video. We've got LG channels, YouTube, Tubi, and Max. So we'll go ahead and install a couple of these. So it says enjoy You Know Who on your TV. We can either get started or say not now. I won't do that right now. We'll just kind of get these installed and get them all set up. Looks like it wants you to log into each of these, so we'll do that later, but we'll get them installed nevertheless. Same thing, YouTube and Max probably will ask us to do all that. Go ahead and install these now. All right, it's gonna then show us the progress of downloads on each of these. All right, let's take a quick look at the remote. So this is the LG Magic Remote, and this is pretty similar to past LG Magic Remotes, so I don't really see any difference between the one I have for my LG A1 versus this one. Now this one is a mixture of glossy and black plastic and does have quite a few different functions with it. So just to go through some of the options here, we have power at the top. We do have our number keys. Now 1 through 8 can actually be dedicated to specific apps or different inputs. So you can select those in the quick link settings. Just hold down 0. That'll bring that up, and you can assign each of these numbers to be something specific. So you can also turn the TV on with them. So if say we wanted YouTube, hold down 2, that'll turn the TV on and go right to YouTube. Down here at the bottom, you have a set of quick links here. So we have Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, LG channels, Sling, and You Know Who. And if the TV's off, you can actually just hold down on this. It'll open that app right away instead of you pressing power, going to the menu and choosing Netflix, for example. But of course, these are quick toggles you can use while the TV is on as well. Of course, we have our typical volume up and down, channel forward and back. We have our mute, we have voice recognition, so you can press and hold that to tell it to open a certain app or input. We also have our home button. You can also hold that to go between different applications that you may have open on the TV. We also have our input button, and of course, again, you can hold that to actually go between the different inputs or go to your home hub if you wanted to. Right down below that, you can see we have a 4-way toggle with an OK button, and there is a scroll wheel in here. Now the scroll wheel is pretty nice. It reminds me kind of like a middle scroll wheel on a mouse. And I think that's probably the point, because you do have a cursor and you have this little scroll wheel here, and that will scroll between any content that you have on the screen at that time. And I do like the fact that you have the cursor as well as the 4-way toggle. So if you're used to the 4-way toggle, you can use that, or you can use that Magic Remote just by waving this around and then pressing OK on the different functions that you want to use. Right below that, we have a back button, and then we have a quick settings button as well. All right, and here we are at the main WebOS home screen. Now, just to give you a brief overview of this, as you can see at the very top, we do have advertised content. So for example, Crooked House is up here at the top. We have a nice thumbnail that's going to show all the different actors, actresses that are in this movie. And it also shows you it's available on LG channels to stream free. You also have a little cursor or a little arrow right here where you can press that to go to the next option, Battlefield Earth. And you can use the Magic Remote to move around if you want to. So you simply do that just by waving the remote around, and then you can click on things with the center wheel. You can also use the 4-way toggle on the remote itself to go between things. So for example, if we move up, we can just scroll between those with the 4-way toggle, which can be easier at times versus using the Magic Remote cursor. If we go to the left of that, you can see we have our profile. We've got notifications, settings, as well as search. You also have voice search on this remote as well. And just to show you a quick example of using the voice on the remote, as you can see, we do have a voice button here, and we can hold that down and open up apps and look for content. So for example, open Netflix. Show me the trailer for Top Gun Maverick.
These are the results from Top Gun Maverick. Which one of these would you like to view?
And as you can see, we can just go through the different options that we have here, and it does show you where it's from. So up at the top corner, Vudu, Prime Video, we've got Apple TV, we've got the trailer on YouTube, and you can scroll through all these different options, which is pretty nice. So I'm sure there are many more things we can do, but just as an example, you can use that to open apps or search for specific content. Right below that, we have a couple of different categories. So we have home office, we've got game, music, home hub, sports, and more. Now, if we go into each of these, this is going to be some extra little things you can do with the TV, which is pretty nice. So for example, for home office, we have Windows 365, Chrome Remote Desktop, Azure Remote Desktop, Remote PC, as well as different internet services down here at the bottom. So we have Google Calendar, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Keep, Google Docs, Microsoft 365, Facebook Messenger, as well as remote meeting. If we go to the games section, as you can see at the top, we've got advertisements. We have some different options down here. So we have GeForce Now, we have Amazon Luna, Udemy, Blacknut, and Boosteroid Cloud Gaming. I'm not familiar with any of these except for GeForce Now, and GeForce Now basically runs games on their servers and you get to just play them. So as you can see, we have quite a few different options down here. Witcher, we have Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Dead by Daylight, Fortnite, etc. Got a bunch of different options. You can scroll down again, and we've got some more options down here as well. So Billion Marbles, so it looks like some of these are just games maybe that you can play online. So quite a few different options in that section. We also have a music section, and under the music section, you can see we have YouTube and Spotify, so you can sign into those if you wanted to. You also have some more options as well. We actually have Bluetooth, so you can actually stream from your mobile device. We've got USB storage, so you can put a USB flash drive in the back of the TV and listen to music through that. We've got YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Sirius XM. I think that's Napster, not gonna lie, and Tidal. So you've got quite a few different options for listening to music on this TV. Next up, we've got our home hub. Now in here, it shows our inputs, and it looks like we can add IoT devices and smart devices in here, so that's pretty nice. And you also have the ability to use AirPlay in this section as well. We also have a sports section, and as you can see, we have all the different popular sports. So we've got NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL. We also have soccer, a bunch of different soccer options. We also have a tips section right here, and this is going to show you all about using those different functions in that section, as well as enjoying free content, so that's pretty nice. And of course, you can also go to the edit list and you can move these around. So if you do frequently use these functions, you can move these around to your liking or remove them if you'd like. All right, taking a look at the next section, that's going to be our app list. So as you can see right up at the front, we have our apps, and that's the App Store where you can go in and download more apps. We have LG channels, we've got Netflix, Prime Video, Disney, Hulu, etc. Now some of these I did download initially at setup, and those will be right there available. So for example, Max, if I click on that, you can see it's gonna go right to the app. Now, however, if I go to one of the other options, that's not already downloaded, what will happen is it will download from the App Store. So Tubi I don't believe was an option, so if we click on that, yep, it's gonna take us right to the App Store, and then from here, it will download the app in the background, and then it will start up the app. So as you can see, it's gonna download this app really quick. And now it has the app open for me. So not every app that's listed in the app section is actually physically downloaded onto your TV right away. Now, of course, in addition to these streaming apps, you can also edit and move these around if you'd like to. You can do that one of two ways. You can hover over and then hold down the center wheel. That will take you right into the edit option here. And as you can see, you can move that magic remote around and then move that to where you'd like. Hit OK. And you also have a little delete option right above that also. You also have an intelligent edit option up here, and what that'll do is it'll move things around based on what you frequently use. So if you hit apply right here, it's gonna move things around. So it knows that I've used YouTube even though I've barely used this, but as you use it more, it'll understand how you use it, and you can use that intelligent edit to move things around. So we can hit OK right there. Of course, you can still move these around if you want to, or again, delete them if you need to. And we can go to close. Another method of editing is if you go all the way to the side here, we have an edit app list option right here. So if you want to use that, you can, or you can again use the center wheel to hold down and then get right there and move that to where you like. Now, one thing they do kind of push with this is the LG channels. So as you can see, we've got free on LG channels. So you've got all these different movies. And of course, if we go into one of these, for example, like the Prestige, it's going to go into the LG channels app. give you some more information about it. This also kind of gives you an idea of the time it takes for these to load. Now, I wouldn't say that this is super snappy and very, very fast, but it is decent enough. And as you can see, it's going to show us a preview of the movie right in the background. We've got the name, year, rating, category, time, as well as a short synopsis of the movie. We have a play and a favorite option, so if you do want to add it for later, you can. And then we can just go right back to our home screen. Right below that, again, we have our LG channels. So as you can see, it's got featured channels. We've got Stingray Greatest Hits, NBC News Now, ABC News Now, a bunch of different things. And just to test this out, we'll go ahead and go to ABC News Now, see how long that takes to load. And again, this is a bit faster than the other TV I have, so if you're looking for a speedier processor, you probably want to go for the C3, but this is overall pretty decent and has a lot to offer. So as you can see, it's still loading the channel here.
Weight, including lifestyle changes and surgery.
And it's loaded the channel, but it is not in good quality yet. Let me go ahead and mute that. And as you can see, it's kind of in this kind of bad quality, and it did clear up. So as you can see, that's how long it's going to take to get you from the home screen to LG channels. And then of course you can use the channel button, and you can just kind of go through the different channels. And then just to show you kind of how long it's going to take here for those to each load, you can see the loading kind of a poorer quality, but then eventually it will clear up after it gets everything buffered. And of course, this is all going to be dependent on your internet speed as well. Now, I'm not sure why some of these are not loading, but as you can see right below, we have a shopping section where we have a bunch of different options for content here, as well as shop time. Under the Life's Good hub, we do have a couple of different things, and some of these are redundant because they're already in different places, but you can see that GeForce Now is down here while it's also in the gaming section, so you'll see some of these different things in multiple places. If we go down one more time, you can see the Now Streaming section. We have Apple TV, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Tubi, YouTube, Haystack, Max, and it looks like those are the only ones right here. And if you select one of those, you can see some different content for each of those streaming platforms will show up right below. So for example, with Apple TV, we have Killers of the Flower Moon, Lessons in Chemistry. Go to Prime Video, that's going to show us Kevin James special, The Other Zoe, Zorro, etc. If we scroll down, we have new releases, and in here you can see this is going to show us a different new release, and up in the top left corner it does show YouTube TV. For example, this one's from Vudu, Prime Video, and then from there, if you wanted to, for example, Vudu is going to be where you're going to rent. You can hit this, and then it's going to take you to the App Store to download that app if you don't already have it. But of course, these are just suggestions, so there you go. As you can see, it's going to download the app, and then once it downloads the app, it should take us to the content that we originally tapped on, so we can use that. And there we go. And last but not least, we also have popular cinema. So as you can see, again, same thing. We've got John Wick 4, and that's available on Apple TV. Equalizer available on Vudu, and you can see all these different things. And again, once you click on this, if you don't have that app already, it will download it from the App Store. You can then go ahead and rent or watch, depending if you have the service or not. From here, we have an arrow pointing up. That's going to take us all the way to the top. And of course, we can scroll all the way back down here. And then we also have an edit button as well. So from here, you can see we can move things around to our liking. So even though it's organized as it is right now, and I just showed you this kind of overview of it, you can move these things around and potentially get rid of them if you want to. So you can kind of clean this up to your liking. All right, now I just want to go through some of the settings that are available on the TV. So we'll hit the settings gear here up at the home screen, and this is what you're going to get here. So as you can see, it's going to show your recent history. So I did recently access the multi-view, so you can go right back to where you were. You can see we can edit here. We have our network. We have, looks like potentially accessibility and additional settings. So for example, we'll go into our network here. And here you go. So you can see I am connected with Wi-Fi. However, you can also connect with Ethernet if you wanted to. All right, and back in settings, we have our picture mode. We also have OLED pixel brightness. It's under energy saving right now. So as you can see, we can't actually change that, but if you do change the picture mode, you can change that setting once that happens. We also have our sound mode, and as you can see, I did choose AI Sound Pro. You do have a couple different options. So you have Standard, Cinema, Clear Voice Pro, Sports, Music, Game Optimizer, and that looks like it's about it. You have some advanced settings also that you can mess with. We also have our sound out, so here you can change between the TV speaker, optical output device plus the TV speaker, HDMI ARC device, Bluetooth device, Bluetooth device plus TV speaker, LG Wowcast device, mobile device, and WISA speakers, and then right back to speakers. And of course, we have advanced options there also. We do have a sleep timer, so if you do keep your TV on at night, for example, while you're in bed, you can have that turn off after a set amount of time. We do have eye care mode, and you can turn that off or on, and that's going to reduce the blue light from the TV, so it'll help your eyes not be strained. We also have a screen off option, game optimizer, music discovery, and multi-view. Now, some additional settings we have here, we do have picture settings. So as you can see, we can go in here and choose our mode. And this is also available in that other menu also. This is just in a different method, but those are the different picture view modes, personalized picture wizard, and we also have our aspect ratio and advanced settings also. So as you can see, we can change brightness, color, clarity, apply to all inputs, reset, filmmaker mode, and reduce blue light. We also have sound, and again, these are gonna be very redundant. These are in the same previous menu, but we have our mode, our sound out, and advanced settings. Under general, we have our accessibility settings, AI service settings, game optimizer, OLED care, family settings, channels, networks, external devices, system, and energy saving. And then we also have a support option also, which will allow us to update our TV. We've got our user guide, quick help, home and store mode, IP control settings, TV information, and privacy and terms. And just to give you a quick sample of video from the LG B3, this is with HDR content. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a cable to test the HDMI 2.1 4K 120 Hertz. So this is at 60 Hertz. Of course, it wouldn't translate over video anyway, but this should give you an idea of how it's going to look with HDR content. It's very bright, very vivid, looks really good. And here is a quick sample with HDR turned off. So as you can see, of course, you're gonna get those beautiful colors with OLED, perfect blacks, perfect reds. As you can see, it's gonna look really, really good. So whether you have HDR content or not, it will still look absolutely great. And just to go through the different picture modes that we have available, you can see we're in auto picture or auto power save mode. We can go through to cinema. You can see it kind of warms the picture up a little bit. Go to sports, that's gonna brighten things up, make it a lot more vivid and a lot cooler. We've got game optimizer. And as you can see, that kind of dulls things down a little bit, but you can see everything really clearly. Filmmaker mode, again, kind of like cinema, warms things up. We've got expert, this is more bright, still kind of has that warm tone to it. Expert dark, it looks like that also has kind of that same warm tone, but everything's a little bit darker, a little bit less vibrant. We've got a personalized option, which you can set yourself. We've got vivid, that's going to be the brightest, coolest, and you'll see the most saturated colors on the screen. So you can see right now, absolutely highly saturated. We have standard, which dulls that down just a little bit. And then auto power save, which it was already in. And then of course you have the AI picture, and that's going to adjust picture and make it look really good as well. You've also got eye care mode, so you can turn that on. And as you can see, it kind of warms the picture up, reduces the blues. Picture in picture. Okay, so you got picture in picture and side by side. Let's just try this just for fun's sake here. Okay, so it looks like you can have multiple inputs here. Yep, it looks like we can go through and choose different options here. So we have such as our antenna and the internet. We have our antenna and YouTube. We have our HDMI and the internet, HDMI, YouTube. So we can try that for example here. And as you can see, it's going to choose HDMI 3. We have that video that's still playing. And then we also have our YouTube menu right here. So I think we can go in here and potentially choose a video. Yep. So we can choose a video here on YouTube and then have those play. And I wonder if we can move this, I guess. Yep, we can grab the bar up here and scoot this over. So that's pretty nice. So you can actually do picture in picture, or you can have side by side. And then if you do side by side, you'll get that same multi-view option where you can choose some different combinations that they have or your own. So for example, if we want to do HDMI 3 and YouTube, as we did before, you can see we have both of those running side by side. So of course, you have those two options. So that's pretty nice. All right, just to give you a quick sample of the sound with the TV, I'm gonna go ahead and play a quick portion of the clip from Top Gun Maverick. So there you guys have it. A quick look at the LG B3. So far, I'm very satisfied with the TV. Now, personally, I'm not a super fan of WebOS, but it is very fully featured and customizable. So not only can you move these apps around with Intelligent Edit, you can move them around wherever you want. You also have a bunch of different options with the Magic Remote. So again, you've got that cursor that you can use to move around. You've also got the 4-way toggle. You've also got a bunch of quick options with the remote. So it's very fully featured. Picture is absolutely pristine. So if you've never had an OLED TV before, it's going to blow your mind. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Perfect blacks, perfect colors. Everything looks just beautiful. You saw with the HDR content and non-HDR content, it's gonna look fantastic. Speakers on this are pretty good. Personally, I'll be using a soundbar with mine, so I'm not too concerned with that. But even without the soundbar, it does sound really good with those built-in speakers. Lots of different sound options, sound modes, as well as picture modes. So again, a lot of customization with this TV. You will definitely find just the right thing for you. You'll be able to get this just the way you like it. So I really do like LG TVs. This is now my third one I've had, so highly recommend. And if you can find this TV on sale, definitely go for it. The C3 will be a little bit better. Now this may be being replaced here soon because it is a 2023 model, so the 2024 model is probably going to be coming in with some new changes with it. But either way, an LG OLED is definitely a good way to go. So if you guys have any questions or comments on this, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.